there. Welcome to another Enchanted video interview. Again, my name is Chelsea. I am producing all these fun things and excited to meet everybody soon. And with us today, we have a very special person, one of our, I don't know what the best word for this is, so I'm going to just let you introduce yourself. But very near and dear to my heart, and with all the support that we've gotten and love from my friend here. So, my friend, will you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Sheila Schamberger from Ladybug Tarot. Uh, if you happen to recognize this at an Enchanted event, come by and see me. I have a sign up with my logo. I am a cartomancer. I read cards of all sorts, from your regular playing card to tarot, and all kinds of things in between, which include oracle decks, Lenormand, Gypsy Witch, and I am dabbling in Spanish playing cards these days.
Ooh, that's new.
Yes.
Good. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to talk about that in just a little bit. So, Sheila, how long have you been doing this?
Ooh, um, 1982. My grandmother was a professional reader. Most of her children did not show an interest. I was one of several grandchildren, and I'm the only grandchild she taught. So she gave me a deck when she thought I was ready. And I learned with a cousin who wasn't even from that side of the family, but she was always with me. So my cousin from my father's side learned tarot from my grandmother from my mother's side with me.
Awesome. That's amazing. So just a couple years then.
Oh, yeah,
Cute.
I'm
Just a few.
new.
So what do you think, since it was a family thing, the question I was going to ask is what got you into it, but what is it given those circumstances, what do you think it is about reading cards and divination that drew you in at such a young age?
Um, I watched my grandmother. I was not supposed to be in the room, but of course, if you're not supposed to be in the room, you're going to look in the room.
Hmm.
So I watched my grandmother with her clients, and the confidence that she had, and just the way she interacted with her clients, just drew me in one way. And then looking at her cards, she allowed us to look at her cards, and she would explain things. And I can remember being maybe 8 or 9 years old, and her explaining cards as she was showing us how she laid them out in different ways, because she knew we were interested. And I guess she had a moment that she wanted to connect with us. So she showed us the cards, she discussed the cards, and um, just a lot of what was her knowledge and her energy behind it. I wanted to touch that.
That's beautiful. I love that. Do you feel that I'm assuming she's since passed.
Yes.
Do you feel that she's still assisting you on this journey?
Sometimes, yes, especially when I'm reading for myself or family that she would have known. She's right there. There are times when I'm not reading cards and she's right there. Um, and I do feel that once in a while, um, I get her energy through on readings that I'm doing. So
Very
she's
cool.
not going anywhere.
No, and that's wonderful. I bet I know plenty of people who have just jumped in with zero connection and they're doing great, but always like having that experience to refer back to and feeling that energy has to really help and really be comforting and inspiring too. So that's really awesome. So what is it what is it that you love about reading? for others or
Um,
yourself?
I like the human connection. I like the energies that flow between me and my clients. I like the sometimes, especially if I'm reading for myself, I get um new new things through that I hadn't met before. So I like feeling and exchanging just just the vibe, the energy, and it makes me feel more connected to humanity to work with the cards.
I love that. That's cool. All right. So going over my list here of very important interview questions. They are very important because I feel like this is a really good chance for people to not only get to know Enchanted, which, would be, a reason, but also everybody who works at all of the exhibitors and vendors and everybody who comes into Enchanted, everybody is so unique and so dedicated and so like special in their own way that I try to talk about you guys and I'll get a little teary when I do this because there is no way there's no way to really explain how this community is and who everybody in this community is, and especially like the more we grow, the more special it seems that we are all coming together in this way. So that was a very long way of wrapping all of it up. Anyway, so thank you for being a part of that community.
It's a beautiful event. Every time I've been there, I have not had a bad experience yet. Um, the worst part is leaving.
Oh, oh, that's lovely. Okay, but back to you right now because that was kind of a
Okay.
detour.
Okay.
So if you had somebody who was brand new to reading or the metaphysical world or anything that you are dipping your toes into, what is some advice that you would give them on their journey?
First, trust yourself. Second guessing yourself or overthinking things um, will delay your journey. If you spend too much time weighing it out, um, you're not experiencing what you should be experiencing. Trust yourself. Go with it. Go with your intuition. Go with your gut. If you've dreamed about it, quite literally dreamed about it, and you wake up, write it down and do it, or somehow find a way to connect with it because um, we are guided. Human beings uh, aren't just these things we live in. There's a lot more to it than your physical body. And if you listen to the voices, whether they're real voices or a nudge that you feel, then you're on the right track.
Perfect. All right. And then I like to ask, what is your advice for the crones? And that is not gender exclusive. It's just anybody that's been around this block for a while that has, that crone type of information or wisdom and experience. What is your advice for them?
Don't be afraid to learn something new. Don't be afraid to fall on your face. I'm an old lady. I fall on my face all the time. Um, but pick yourself up, figure out what you were supposed to learn from that, and keep going because we never stop learning and we never stop growing. So allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to keep moving because if you stay in one place, that's the same as dying.
Very true. All right. So two more questions. What are your next steps that you know of?
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Um, I am expanding. I have been working on some new decks. I need to pick those back up. I kind of put them off to the side for family issues that needed to be addressed at the time. But I am working on a mediumship deck. I bill myself as performing mild mediumship. But the way I see that is, I use cards and I allow the spirits around you to guide those cards and guide how I work with them. And so I'm designing a deck for other people to do that. Um, so that's one step. I'm picking up new divination systems. I already read a number of them. But I'm dabbling in Spanish playing cards. I don't have one of those decks at my table right now, but they're uh, they're at least as old as tarot. Originally, they are connected to tarot and connected to the regular playing card deck you that you play poker with. Um, so I'm branching out in different ways in different places.
That's beautiful. I love that. So, okay, I'm going to add on another question now because we've got a little time.
Okay.
So, since you have such a wealth of or depth of information and divination and decks and things that you use, what are some like pretty consistent symbols or like connections between all of them?
Oh, in usage, um, a connection for me would simply be I see echoes in the decks. You're right. There are consistencies. They aren't necessarily symbolism or um, card titles, but there is a consistent feeling, and I know I use the word energy a lot, but that's what I read. That's what I feel. The cards are are the conduit. They're not. I say I read cards, but the cards speak to me.
Mhm.
So just um, the way they reflect this stream of energy that goes through all of us. That's the consistency. Um, I might have a deck that has a different accent. They speak in a different dialect, but I get the same message. Um, I feel that uh, any card, whether you're reading Lenormand or tarot, if you are tuned into the system, they can speak the same message in their own way, their own language.
Cool. All right. All right, so final question. We will be gathering for our first market of the year, the end of March, so March 28th through 30th. And you will be teaching a workshop.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us what your workshop is?
Ooh. Um, yes, I'm teaching keeping it in context. So many times I've had students come to me and say, I was reading about my career and I got all these cards about love and it just didn't fall into place for me. And so I have to tell them to back up and think about fitting what they feel the card means into the context of work. Two of Cups does not necessarily mean that something at this workplace or someone at this workplace will be my love interest. No, it's a partnership. It's a pretty that's a pretty obvious one for me. In career, Two of Cups is a partnership between your employer and you, a contract between your employer and you, but just um, not forcing the square peg into the circular hole, but shaping the peg to fit in the hole.
Okay.
So you shape the meanings of the cards to fit the reading that you're doing, the question that you're asking, the card position. I'm not going to interpret the same card for advice that I would interpret for the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
They fit in their own spaces, within a spread, within a question, within um, a uh, within a situation there. That word right there.
That word, I get you. It is Friday afternoon. Also could be Monday. Who knows? Anyway, who knows? Anyway, all right.
They're
Well,
abstract things. Hmm.
it's we're just here and we're having a good time, and that's all that matters. All right. Well, I appreciate the time that you've given to us today, and very much looking forward to seeing you very soon at Enchanted. And I think that's it.
I
Oh,
do the pop-ups too.
oh,
We have a
that's right.
pop-up on
Very
March
true.
1st. And if as long as you will have me, I will be popping up with you.
All right. Well, you were on my list for everything,
Well,
even if it's in my head.
I will happily attend.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Sheila. And again, I will talk to you soon. And